This is TJ Legacy, host of the Soapboxx podcast. The live stream will start shortly, but make sure you like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and tell all of your friends and family that the most infamous podcast on all your streaming services is about to go live.
TJ, what's goody? It's HB. Can I just big you up real quick with what you're doing with the Soapboxx? Listen, anytime somebody takes their platform to educate and inform the culture of hip-hop with politics, pop culture, doing what you're doing and being responsible with your platform, I can't do nothing but salute you, TJ. Keep doing what it do. Keep repping for the culture. Nothing but love and respect for me, baby. Peace.
Tell me what's really good. It's Peter Rosenberg, Hot 97, ESPN, WWE, Cheap Heat Podcast, all that. Big shout out to my peoples over at the Soapboxx, all right? My man TJ, Legacy Cole, the whole Soapboxx crew. Incredible new podcast, all right? Politics, pop culture, hip-hop, even wrestling on occasion. It's all there. So go subscribe and make sure you tune in to the Soapboxx. TJ, what up, man? Appreciate you.
Peace to the planet. Charlemagne the God here. What's happening, TJ Legacy Cole? Salute to you, King. Salute to the Soapboxx Podcast. The Soapboxx Podcast is an independent black media podcast, and they talk hip-hop, politics, pop culture, mental health, social justice, a lot of my favorite subjects. Check them out, man. Tune in, subscribe to them. You never know. I'm out here looking at all the different podcasts that are moving and shaking out here, because I got the Black Effect Podcast Network, so I'm gonna be checking y'all out, TJ. All right, keep working.
Yo, what's good? What's going on, family? This is the I was gonna say this is the TJ Legacy Show. I'm about to change the name of the show. Sorry about that.
Yeah, one shout out from Charlemagne, and now.
One shot, and I just got gas. Like, ain't nobody come to see you, Alan. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Yo, what's good? Welcome to the Soapboxx Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Legacy, and I'm joined with what's going on, lady from the north. What's up, Jesse?
What's poppin'? It's me, Jesse. TJ's little minion, apparently.
I know y'all gonna give me hell for that. Anyway, like I said, I gotta be on top of my game. All the way from NYC. What's going on, Alan? Go ahead, talk your shit.
It's me, Young Ginger Ale, aka another one of the Pips.
Oh my gosh, Pips! Oh, Pips!
Oh, am I Gladys?
Yes, Gladys.
Oh man, the slander. One tone. LeBron don't have to deal with this. LeBron get a turnover. Everybody pat him on his back, pick him up. Not this team.
Skill.
This team's like, yo, so you dropped the ball. What happened? Well, you turned it up. Just beat you with a newspaper. Anyway, we got a good show for you guys today. Thank you all for watching us on your streaming services. Hey, there's been a lot going on this week. This episode, mask off. A lot of things have been revealed, literally and figuratively, as far as keeping your mask on or keeping your mask off. So we'll talk got a lot of stories today, but I want to start with what's popping. We had breaking news for those who are watching us. What's popping, Jesse, with listen, I'm not excited about.
I hate to say this, TJ, but you're gonna know. I told you so.
What's popping, Jesse, with Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez? Go ahead.
So, guys, Tory Lanez has officially been charged in the shooting of Meg Thee Stallion. I know a lot of people, a lot of people didn't want to believe that he did it or whatever, and I guess he's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. But yeah, they finally pressed charges for what he did, allegedly. So he's facing 1 felony count each of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, personal use of a firearm, and carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. And he's also looking at a gun allegation that he personally inflicted great bodily injuries. So hopefully everything works out for him in the court of law.
Alan, please give us your thoughts. Jesse is trying to be gracious, but I think there's a little bit of gloat in there. There's a little.
I was gonna ask, when you say everything hopes out, Jesse, what is your definition of works out?
justice, as long as justice is served, if you know what I mean.
Look at the way she drinking her drink. Like if y'all see her, she's like a little cocktail, pinky out. Y'all are out of control.
It's all about the justice, y'all. It's all about the justice.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
My goodness.
My thing is, why would Meg lie? But I wasn't there, so I can't really say what transpired. But I just don't think somebody would lie about something like that. But
I have a question. Will Meg Thee Stallion testify in this case?
If she has to.
Will she be? Will she be pressured because of her stance? And we'll talk about some of the other public stances that she's taken. Will she be pressured to take the stand and testify and see this thing through to bring justice with the Tory Lanez shooting situation?
So I can't say for sure because I don't know Meg personally. But
would you want her to testify? Let me ask you that.
I don't doubt that she would. But my thing is, I feel like they're gonna come to some arrangement that he doesn't have to go through trial. But who knows? He made a whole album claiming that he's innocent. So let's just see how he's gonna get around that.
She's like, it's a bold strategy, Colin. Let's see how it works. Yes. Let's see how it works. Jesse's a bad winner, yo. You ever see some people who are sore losers? Don't ever, I hate coming on this podcast when Jesse is right or it's something that she's like, touch it, because she's a bad winner. Like she
little high step in the end zone.
Yeah. Oh, she's a showboat. Wow. What about you, Alan? What do you think this? Okay, in the hip hop industry, what do you think this Tory Lanez charging does for the perception of the celebrity relationships and stuff? Does it give people some pause for cause to be like, hey, we need to give some grace and let the law figure this out? Or are people like we did last week? He was already convicted in the court of public opinion. So now it's just so ironic that this week he's actually been charged in real jail. And I'm telling you, real judicial system is far worse than the court of public opinion at times. So what do you think?
Yeah. I think that unfortunately for the people who have their mind made up one way or the other, the goalpost is going to continue to move, right? So before last week, it was, if he did X, Y, Z, then why isn't he charged? And then this week, the goalpost will be, okay, even though he's charged, he's not, he hasn't been convicted. And even if he gets convicted, it's still some people that's going to say, even though he was convicted, maybe he was taking a rap from someone else, whatever. And the vice versa. I think people will continue to make this story what they want it until probably there's some sort of like public conversation or public acknowledgement from both sides on a different type of platform. Unfortunately, you have people who are discrediting Meg because it was herself only on live. And then for good reason, you have people discrediting Tory because he's only speaking with the record. And so a lot of people don't necessarily take that as, a serious conversation or serious enough to acquit him in the court of public opinion. I saw an interesting thing. He uploaded a video maybe last week and he had 9 million views within the first 24 hours, which I'm very sure is probably the highest of his career. So it's interesting also to see what sides of the fence people are sitting on when it comes to completely not listening to him or just what the curiosity is. But to answer your question, I don't think that there's anything that's going to change within the hip hop community. At the end of the day, from what we understand is these two people were kind of involved some sort of romantically, at least, that's what the stories are. And, I don't think people of that stature within those same circles are going to second guess getting involved with each other just because of a situation like this. So, we still praying for Meg. I see that she's still out here doing performances. She's still getting them dance moves off. So we still praying for Meg. I don't really have any prayers for Tory.
Damn, really? Like, what? I mean, Okay, let me just ask this question. I'll be devil's advocate. Although I've been clearly on Meg the Stallion's side this whole entire time, as the record would show on this podcast. I have been a staunch supporter of Meg the Stallion. What happens if he becomes acquitted? Do we look at
nothing?
Meg the Stallion different? Is he vindicated? What happens?
No, I'm telling you, the goalposts will move. Whatever happens, the only thing that will vindicate him is if for some reason she is the person to recant the story. That is the only.
You gotta find another shooter.
That would be the only thing that vindicates him, because she was very clear in her wording. He did this. It's him. He did it. So unless she changes that, there's really nothing that he can say.
And she can't change, because that's her career. That'll be it for her.
Right.
Because you can't go out saying, you can't go, and I know we're going to talk about the next topic, but you can't go out saying protect Black women and then you lying about violence towards yourself and talking about and getting on social media saying this person shot. Because didn't she say that? She said Tory Lane shot me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, she wouldn't be lying about what happened. She's still a victim in all of this. The only thing that would change is if, from where everything was seen, he was around and at least involved in the situation is somewhat. If for whatever reason there was another person that was assisting him or whatever, it doesn't change the fact that she's a victim. So she's always going to have that. She's always going to have that, for lack of a better term, going for her. And when I say no prayers for Tory, I don't mean it in a malice way. But for right now, to me, if I'm just going off I'm just saying, like, as of right now, to me, it's just that, and I'm all about people, gaining redemption and having a second chance, XYZ. But as of right now, his stance is just a complete 180 of what she's saying. And so, I just feel like if there's information that comes out that backs up his innocence or whatever, then that's a different story. But putting out an album or some music in regards to a situation that's so delicate right now, I can't get jiggy with that.
Who advised that? I don't know who on this team was like.
Isn't he?
He's independent.
He is. He's independent. And I know his former record label was like, "Whew, we got out of that shithole."
Yo, so are they gonna give? So it's weird, because does he now get the? Because remember when Chris Brown went through his situation with Rihanna, where people were like, "Don't play his music." Does he get the R. Kelly treatment right now, where we don't, we got to take Tory? I don't even think Tory Lanez is. I only know one Tory Lanez song. It's like, is that the "Everyone Falls" song? Everyone falls.
Yeah, I know a lot of Tory Lanez music. I don't know if he's gonna get that. I think a lot of outlets are taking that route.
Should he get? If he's going to, should he just say? Should he get that? Should he be like off the radio? What is your brand of justice that you would like during this process? If you could tailor it.
That's a difficult question for me, because I'm one of those people who can separate the artist from the music, and I know I shouldn't say this, so I'm not even gonna say it. But there's certain music that I shouldn't be listening to because of who the artist is. But I like the music.
Kanye and R. Kelly.
Listen, I like the music. I don't agree what the artist did at all, period. But I enjoy the music. So I will catch myself sometimes listening to a Tory Lanez song, and then afterwards I'll be like, why did I just listen to that? But it was a good song.
Immediate self-reflection.
But that doesn't mean like I agree with anything that they have done or that they're doing.
So you listen to it immediately, you go, why? I hate myself. It's such a fantastic song. Listen, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Since we're doing confessions, I like that Doja Cat song. I can't stand Doja Cat, but that Doja Cat song, that in the moment, that's a slapper. Yo, that's a groovy song, yo. I was like, it's a little, racially ambiguous, white.
I like that music.
Grooving to that thing, but yeah, I don't. I can't rock with her. Let's see what Soapbox Nation has to say. If you guys want to say anything on Soapbox Nation, make sure you drop a comment. Stacy, shout out to Stacy in Orlando. She says, glad he's in jail. Tory Lanez is getting zero love. Glad he's in jail. Wow.
They say he's not in jail, so I'm sorry to pop your bubble, but soon come. He's not in jail. He just got, so yeah, he has to go for arraignment, and I think next week or whatever, he'll probably get out on bond, and Lord knows, you know how these cases go. He may not even see a judge for another 6 months or something like that. So
listen, if the race soldier who kneeled on George Floyd's neck, Derek Chauvin, if he got a bond this week for $1 million, and he's out of jail. So if he get a bond, Tory Lanez, who shot Meg, who allegedly, I don't want Tory Lanez to own the soapbox, who allegedly shot Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. I think he'll get a bond, but but I believe you're right. This is probably going to be one of those things where it's a PR, because she's going to want to stop talking about it. Now that he's actually charged, she's going to want to stop talking about it, and she's not going to want to get on the stand, and she's going to lose some sort of hood credibility, right? Because people are going to troll her if she gets on stand and it's like points him out, he did it, blah blah, And so I think she may a bit to her if she gets on that stand and says this is what happens, and she cries and tells her truth, because Rihanna didn't testify against Chris Brown. She refused to.
Yeah, well,
and I think she showed up to court in support of him.
I don't know about all that, but
didn't she show up to? I could have sworn. Hold on, I could have sworn she did.
But beyond that, though, I don't feel like. First off, I don't think it hurts her if she were to do that. Her fan base is women. Women are going to support her 100% through and through. They will be outside of the courtroom, but. I'm just taking music and fans out of the equation. A lot of women who are victims of domestic violence don't see that process all the way through, even if they generally do.
Right.
They just and this is just a sad nature of affairs. Not saying that that's what's going to happen here, but I'm just talking about just the general course of action, because it's a lot emotionally. It's a lot. Dealing with the police is dealing with a system that you don't trust is a lot, and people would just rather not go through that. So I don't think we're going to see that happen for reasons way beyond music or whatever so-called street cred is. Just on a human level, I doubt it.
Yes, absolutely. So and that's a very good point. Transitioning, so this episode we talk about Mask Off, and when we from our last podcast episode, we left off, and then all of a sudden we found out that the president of the United States had contracted or tested positive for COVID-19. Not just him, the label, and the crew decided that they were all tested positive for COVID-19. Everyone, Melania Trump, Kellyanne Conway, and some aides that were in the White House, and all these people just decided that they were going to go all in on this whole COVID-19 and coronavirus is a hoax, and Trump didn't. Trump had he got the virus. So, what was y'all first initial reaction when you heard the news? Because then he came out and was like, "I'm healed. I'm good. It's like a week turnaround. Like he contracted it or he got it, and then he was like, "I'm healed. I'm good." So, what are your thoughts? Do you think hoax or not?
I think hoax, but again, I'm not the corona. I don't know if the corona has hit our president, but I think it's a hoax, especially for him to come out 3 days later. You're almost 80 years old. Like, how do you recover that fast? My dad had coronavirus and he was in his 60s, and it took him a while to recover. There's no way an 80-year-old man who looks like he don't really take care of himself recovered that fast. And then for him to come up like he was some sort of god. Dude, have a seat. You definitely didn't have the corona. But hey, who am I? I could be wrong. I wasn't there.
I was one of those people that immediately was like, isn't this bad? Like, it happened, and I immediately went, The Simpsons. And I consider myself politically astute. And I was just like, there's so many Simpsons conspiracy, because for those who don't know, the Simpsons predicted that he was going to be president. And then they also predicted that he was going to die from some sort of illness or sickness. I still haven't seen the episode. But I mean, my initial reaction was like, wow, look at that. You know, once you don't denounce white supremacy and you tell the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by, and then within a couple of days, you are out here with the dang COVID-19. It just, the timing, you know, from the ancestors. I heard the drums from the ancestral plane. I thought something was in the works. Some dust or something was in the works. But then I started looking at it and I was like, wait a minute, now he's all of a sudden better, and he does this big like mask off reveal. And I said, oh, wait a minute. Now they're going to try to push this vaccine. And I don't think none of the American people, whether Trump is the president or even in the immediate future, are going to trust any sort of vaccine from any government. I'm not going to be the first. I'm not going to even be on the first wave. Like, y'all going to have to, they're going to have to be some first. I got that much trust issues. Like, I won't even buy the PlayStation in the first wave. Like, y'all got to get all the glitches out first.
Definitely not.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to holler at me when the refurbished joints come out. I'll be in the crib. Nope.
The market value for the vaccine is gonna be
crazy. Yeah, as much as he talks about like big pharma beefing with him and all that, he knows that us getting the vaccine first would be wonderful for the stock market. And I don't really put that past him. I don't necessarily know if it's a hoax or not, because when he came back from the hospital and he took off his mask, it looked like he was Wheezy and Jefferson, real nasty.
He has got a horrible diet. Like, he drinks 12 Diet Cokes a day. He has burgers, and like he only eats the toppings off of cheese pizzas. Like, he's living his life. Like, he's out here.
Yeah. And it's like, and I don't think I've heard anyone who was showing symptoms of the corona getting out in a weekend. Like, if your symptoms are bad enough to where you're going to the hospital, mind you, he's the president. He can have people come to him. So if he's going to a facility where they need special treatment for him specifically, I felt like it was bad enough, or they're trying to tell us it was bad enough for him to be there. But the rapid 48 hours, all right, I'm out, is definitely fishy to me. And honestly speaking, we're reaching a week since he's been tested. I don't think this is over. I don't think this is a done deal. I wouldn't be shocked if in a week he gets worse. As of right now, he could be, souped up off the dope and running off adrenaline that they have him on. So I don't think that this is necessarily over if he indeed contracted it. So
go ahead.
I was going to say it's still pending.
Or maybe they're doing this purposely because they know that the debate is going to be next week, and they know that he canned the last one, and it made him look worse than whatever. Because I think like who won the debate and who lost, obviously. But maybe they know that that's bad for his image, and that's only going to affect him. So this is the only way for him to be out of it. I don't know.
That's a possibility.
I also read that he was getting like a lot of attention. Yes, he's the president. I get it, but I know like some doctors were saying that they were concerned with how much attention that he was getting. So who knows? Maybe they was going ham for him while he was there, and he miraculously got better. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a little fishy, especially for you to be out of the hospital that fast.
Yeah, and then he came out with like the tweets where he was just like, he's like, "Yo, vote for like." I'm trying to find the tweets right now on his Twitter. He's just tweeting like a madman.
Well, you're gonna be there a while because he's been tweeting up a storm.
Yeah,
if it ain't a tweet within the last 15 minutes, you're gonna do a lot of scrolling, my brother.
This man is. But anyway, he came. His tweets was like all caps. like all caps. Like, low. This is what the deal is. He's retweeting a lot of stuff. I honestly think he's a little panicked. I'm still iffy about the whole election and where he stands because, and I'll talk about that in the next segment when it comes to voting. But Trump himself, I think it says something where the American people cannot believe the president when he says that he actually has a tested positive for a virus. That everybody was like, yeah, right. Like nobody believed, like as if he was like nobody believed. Like everyone's like, yo, he's got to die in order for me to believe. Like those are things that are real that people have actually said. And the fact that everybody else caught it, I thought it was extremely irresponsible that if you know you have something, he was out there on the stage with Joe Biden, he was out there with all of his aides, like they have this idea that they are invincible. What's crazy about it, speaking of, because you guys know this podcast is based out of Florida, because that's where I am. I was driving downtown the other night, and our crazy governor, has lifted the restrictions and basically said all restaurants could be at full capacity. So he even told the Miami Dolphins, hey, you guys are clear to go to have 65,000 people in your stadium. Like, it's crazy. I drove downtown thinking, all right, let me, I was sitting there cruising, trying to get something to eat. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm thinking I could pop in, pop out. These places are packed during the weekday. Absolutely. Like people are going out. And I'm talking like to the T where they're outside. No mask, nothing. And I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, so there's definitely going to be a second wave, because if he lifts the ban here in Florida, and people are traveling, and I found out that people are actually traveling to Florida and doing all sorts of like going out, like clubs I saw a video of the clubs are packed, people are dancing and grinding. Like, I don't care how fine she is, I can't be grinding up on you in no club, contracting no virus, right? So, but
not gonna grind on the pandemic booty.
Nah, man, nah. That's. See, I have this theory that people who don't like to wear masks don't wear condoms, and I'm gonna treat you as such. So I just stay away. If you don't like wearing a mask, you're one of those people that's just like, it's okay. So that's what people get the clap, and I'm not with that. Or you
clap over COVID, guys.
No, man. So I can't do that. But anyway, yeah, she was. But I saw a lot of different people not wearing masks. So there's definitely gonna be a second wave, and we got to think Halloween is about to come, right? So there's going to be massive Halloween parties at these bars, and everybody's going to want to go out, drink, and have a good time, and, breathe and stuff. And as a former security guard, I know that there's tons of people like puking and alcohol. It's very nasty. Once you become a security guard and you see, you're like the fly on the wall, no pun intended, you see a lot of like, you don't realize how nasty clubs and bars are. On top of that, the holiday season's coming up. There's going to be a lot of people still shopping in stores and malls, and these places are going to be packed. So there's definitely going to be a second wave. So, yeah, they're about. I honestly feel like if Joe Biden, after this election, they're going to shut everything down, because then they won't have to pander anymore. Because right now it's like, okay, we don't want to shut it down, because then we'll feed into the Democrats' narrative that, oh, this pandemic, the coronavirus is that serious. And then we don't want to keep it open. Democrats are going to not want to keep it open, because then they're going to want to show how serious it is. So I think they're going to shut everything down post election. So that's nuts. I saw that, I was like, nah, I'm good. All right. So as we transition, yeah, but Trump tweets a lot. That's crazy. Yeah,
it's no joke.
Like you would think he's been. I don't tweet that much, and I know he's got to be more busy than I do than me.
Well, he tweets like anyone who comes into work and doesn't do anything. They just be in the bathroom on the timeline.
Like, yo,
that's how he treats the presidency.
Yo, for real. Let's jump. I know we just talked politics. Let's jump in a little celebrity selfie news. Alan, what's going on with Rihanna?
Wow, Rihanna. My second wife. I know
she got two Rihanna news. We'll just do Rihanna news.
Yeah, no, we're gonna put it all in the pot. So my second wife, Rihanna, continues to do amazing things. This time she actually took a page out of some content creators' books, as well as big brands, and they're trying to figure out how to do this whole fashion week and preview their new lines and their fall lines amidst everything that's going on. So she did have a virtual fashion show. Now, a lot of people know, and some don't, that Rihanna also is partnered up with Amazon Prime, and they actually live streamed the fashion show. She had a lot of dope guests, a lot of dope performers. It was entertaining. We had the young Queen Normani in there. I believe there was Lizzo that was doing some Fenty ambassadoring, if that's a word or not. So it was a really good night, but not everything and not everyone is perfect. So there was a little bit of controversy. Now, there was a clip in one of the songs used called Doom by a group called Koku Chloe, which some people in the Muslim community were offended by because some of the lyrics are sacred Muslim scripture. And, you know, they are very serious about the scriptures and everything within the Quran, because there are poems and scriptures that are put over a beat for them to listen to. And it looks like some of those scriptures were incorporated into the song that was playing while the fashion show was going on. So Rihanna was made aware of the situation and she came out, she took ownership. She apologized to the Muslim community. She said that she understood why that it was deemed offensive and that she's going to do better after she was educated. So shout out to my sis Rihanna, aka my second wife. And you know, I did see a lot of positive feedback from the Muslim community. They were impressed that she took ownership. She didn't make any excuses and she went directly to them and she apologized. So I think that's what a lot of people like, is taking accountability and just facing all criticism head on and not necessarily skipping it or telling people that they're being sensitive. So shout out to her, and shout out to the Fenty line. Now, speaking of the Fenty line, another thing coming from the fashion show is there was a large group of representation that people like to see, especially when it comes to lingerie and undergarments.
Wait, was that a pun? Did you just say it's a large?
Yes. See, I sprinkled that in there, right? So
anyway,
they had all array of sizes, and not only on the female side, but also on the male side. So there was a young brother who got a lot of attention. He's a plus size male model. He went viral on Twitter a couple of months ago, and now he's at the Fenty show. A lot of big, husky, overweight lovers was really glad that they had some representation.
Wait. I don't like the way you're presenting this story. Like, really large, a lot of these husky, overweight lovers. Like, yo, these words are very descriptive and very negative.
There's nothing wrong with those words.
Exactly. Are you projecting?
No, I'm not projecting. I just know that there's sneak dissing, and Jesse, you should talk. You are you've had all the time on this show. So
what? There's nothing wrong with those words, TJ.
See? Nothing at all. If a brother is husky, a brother is husky, and they need to be represented. So the husky brothers got some representation. So shout out to Fenty, because people do like to see what clothes look like on bodies that look like theirs.
Shout out to Rihanna for finally seeing the light and giving the representation to a demographic that is out here in the streets getting chose, but we don't get the credit or the shine that we do. The Tay Diggs, the Idris Albas. Oh, yeah. But when it gets cold, when you really want to chill, the big brothers is out here. Y'all got them on y'all got them on the car fact. Y'all got it. Y'all know what it is. You know, the times they act like they sleep on us, but it's okay. It's okay. We out
they
here.
Sleep on y'all literally too.
Yeah. Alan is as a smaller person, I can sense some of the sour grapes and the hating in your voice and the sneak dissing that I hear in your. It's our turn to shine. Listen,
first off, I just gave you a compliment by saying the women are physically on you.
Yes, they're physically.
I've been trying to lose my belly since 2013, so I'm in the same category. You feel me?
Listen, this belly been here since 1986. It ain't going nowhere. All right, this belly has been here. Is here to stay. I mean, it may look like a flat tire, but eventually, it's not going anywhere, right? So we're just gonna have to get around it and move around it. But you know,
around
it. Yeah, exactly. So
get around the round.
Yes,
Heard you.
shout out to Rihanna and her representation. And see, when I grew up, man, let me tell y'all a little story. When I grew up, there wasn't that much big boy representation on TV that wasn't some sort of stereotypical whatever. I mean, you know what? It was Mark Henry, who's a wrestler, who I was actually separated at birth with in 8th grade. Sexual chocolate, Mark Henry. It's literally in the book.
Boy.
And
for Black women, they weren't represented like that.
That is not true. Where do you see? Tell me where you see a heterosexual big black men being praised as sex symbols out in these streets. I'll wait. And do not say Rick Ross. Do not say Rick Ross.
It goes the same for African American women who are plus size.
No,
barred you up.
Everybody was out here lying, talking about
America's Next Top Model. Watch the old episodes of America's Next Top Model and look at what they used to classify as plus size. Please.
America's Top Model. People's out here giving Gabby Sidibe opportunities. Listen, as I speak for my tribe, okay, as I speak for my tribe in our oppression, okay, out in these streets, listen, I'm glad that we have the representation that we finally deserve, okay? Because right now, you know what Alan and Just Say sound like? Y'all sound like the All Lives Matter folks, right? And I don't like it. I don't like you guys are very all sizes matter right now, and you need to get on Big Black Men Matter and not be on all sizes matter. That's what I'm gonna say.
First off, pause. Second off, I was the one who brought up the representation story. How am I all sizes matter?
Facts.
Because look at Just Say co-signing. Because people don't know you on this podcast, but I know you. His descriptive words were very selective in the puns. That's why he did it. If I was to do that about Lizzo or somebody like that, then there'd be an uproar. But anyway, Rihanna's giving a shine. Give us our time to shine, and don't let it seem like. See, when they say protect black women or big up black women, do you hear me say anything? I just sit in the back. As a black man, just okay, all right, you know, most unprotected woman is a black woman. Okay, give them their shot. All right, black women, black girl magic is big boy, it's big black boy magic. Okay, all right. So you and the rest of the all sizes matter crew, you guys over there, you guys just need to stop skinny splaining and give it and let us have our moment, please. Thank you very much. Do we have any more news or any more puns out of you, Alan York?
No, because I feel attacked because I'm very good with words.
Just like a skinniest, okay? That's what I'm gonna call y'all. Just like a skinniest to play the victim, role. Skinny Karens out here being victimized. Just say celebrity selfie. You have your story?
Yes, we're gonna start off with fine ass Drake.
Look, you see this?
What? Listen,
I'm about to start making a requirement that we do a big guy story at least one episode.
That is
we need more representation.
Are you okay with that? Because I know I am. No problems with that at all whatsoever. So I was saying, fine ass Drake came out with a song with 21 Savage called Mr. Right Now, because you know he's Mr. Right Now. Actually, no, my man's is Mr. Right Now, so I'm gonna take that back. But anyways,
I was about to scroll domestic violence.
I'm telling somebody.
I was about to scroll the domestic violence hotline right across the screen as she said that. Listen, domestic violence. So okay, but anyway, go ahead, just say, please.
He came out with a song, and one of his lines was, "Yes, you want to fuck to some SZA weight, because I used to date SZA back in 2008." So basically, people were like, "Wait a minute, SZA would have been 17 in 2008," so they thought that was like a little funny. But she went on Twitter and she confirmed that yes, they used to date. Lucky ass girl, but it wasn't in 2008. She said that they dated back in 2009, and she feels like he just innocently rapped that it happens in 2008. So yeah, kudos to them. Cute little couple there. I wonder what happened, why it didn't work out, but none of my business.
I know what happened.
I'm not even gonna ask you what happened.
That's community penis. Drake and Common are community penis. They're in these streets.
I don't doubt
They're for everybody. It's there for everybody. That's not me hating. That's literally there's data.
No, I don't doubt that at all. I'm not gonna argue with you there. It ain't shit but hoes and tricks. But anyways, we're gonna move along. Anyways, moving on to our Black Panther King, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. As you guys know, he died a few months ago or a couple months ago in August to colon cancer. But sources close to the family is saying that his wife may be pregnant. So it hasn't been confirmed yet, but if it's true, I mean, I would be so happy for them. And, I feel like that would be him living.
Is it his baby?
Huh?
His baby?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You just got to ask. It's 2000.
Wait, what is it? What
I said, is it his baby?
You want a timeout?
I asked if it's his baby.
That's his wife.
But he's been sick, so I didn't know if he could Anyway, I know I'm not the only person that was thinking hopefully it's his baby.
Alan, were you thinking that?
No, edit point.
Thank
Oh my God. Really? I was thinking yo, is it? I hope it's his baby.
TJ.
Look, we are Naya Rivera's sister over here going to sleeping with and shacking up. Anyway, I just was thinking out loud. Anyway, continue with your report, please. Thank you.
And speaking of babies, Kelly Rowland is pregos with her second child.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Throw in the water.
I was about to say Kelly Rowland is my baby. What is this?
Maybe it's yours, who knows? But congratulations to her. And she said that she's almost 40 years old. So that's dope, because I know back in the day, when you turned 30, there were higher risks, and it was a lot of people were against having a baby after 30. That's why, we have a lot of my mom, she got pregnant when she was 17. But congratulations to her. That's awesome. Sorry, Alan, I don't know if it's yours or not, but
it's all good. Shout out to another one of Destiny's grandchildren coming into the world.
I need a timeout, but he's saying corny puns like that on this show.
Listen, it's just lineage. I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself.
Listen, man, who wouldn't want to get Kelly Rowland pregnant? Hey, shout out to Mask Off. Yes, he definitely did. Mask Off gloves on. Mask Off gloves.
Minaj is also pregnant, and she just gave birth. Nicki Minaj, the Bob. Yeah, she did. Her and her husband Kenneth Petty welcomes a baby into this world. The gender has not been revealed, and neither has the name. So we don't know that. That's good. Mind your business. When she's ready to say that information to everybody, she will. So congratulations. There's a lot of babies, popping out. Quarantine season.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a lot of quarantine babies out there.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's
just what we need is more Libras out here in these streets. More Libras.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, shout out to her, because we definitely understand the mortality, as far as Black women giving birth and how difficult it is. So shout out to them. Hopefully that the children are happy and they're healthy, and the moms are happy with their situation. Anything else? Anybody else pregnant?
I am.
You have any news? How is that going, by the way? Is it
That's going, I get to work from home, so it makes it a lot easier. So I get to sneak in a lot of naps, which is great. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was in the office. I wouldn't doubt it. They coming for me, but no, it's been going good. I can't complain. I'm just tired all the time.
So all right. So for those who are novice and don't have children, like myself and maybe Alan, because we don't necessarily know.
I do not have children, nor any on the way.
So we cannot confirm nor deny.
I am broke.
In this process of your pregnancy, were you in the first trimester? What is the worst part? Is it the last, the third trimester?
For me personally, the first trimester is the worst, because that's when I'm sick. I can't eat anything. Literally everything I try to eat, I throw up. I'm always nauseous. The first trimester is literally hell for me. So like I feel like I'm in the second trimester and I feel completely better. And I think like when I get to the third trimester, it's like I just want the baby to come out because I'm big and I want to be snatched again. And you know, I like that feeling of carrying my baby and feeling him and all that. But you know, I'm gonna miss it too because like I said, I like that feeling. But at some point, like when you're like 39 weeks or whatever, you're ready for that baby to come out. You know, I'm ready. Like, come on, body come out. You know what I'm saying?
39 weeks is a long time.
Embrace your pregnancy body.
Isn't that crazy how women get pregnant? Women get pregnant and they go through all this stuff, and guys are just sitting there, just like, is it done yet? Like we just like y'all just like hens. Like we just go. So is it?
Yeah, you guys definitely don't know what we go through. Even like after pregnancy, like your organs have to get all shift back into place, and postpartum. It's a lot. And like I feel like a lot of guys don't understand that, especially like a lot of partners, they don't get it. They don't get the transition, and they make it really hard on their women, and that's not right. And I feel like
there's like no sex for like 30 days or something, right? Or longer after birth.
Like there's
6 weeks?
Huh?
6 weeks, right?
For what?
I think it's 6 weeks, not 30 days.
Sex after pregnancy?
Oh yeah, it depends. It's 6 weeks, 4 weeks, it depends. I know for like cesarean, it's like I believe it's like 6 to 8 weeks. But I don't know if I'm gonna listen to that. But
just to let you guys know, the Soapboxx podcast does not give medical advice at all. Take it as you wish. Please consult your physician, your doctors, and do not listen to any legal or medical advice on this show. Please don't. But yeah, that's what's up. Definitely keep us updated. All right, Alan. Any potential suitors or what's going on? I feel like we don't really get to talk about these things on the show. Are you dating right now, Alan? I know the streets want to
know. Define dating.
Are you dating? Don't do that. Is there a girl that you're talking to that you give your attention to that knows that you guys are talking with, that feels like you guys are dating? Don't play her. She's watching right now, and I'm on your side, shorty. If you are. So, are you dating?
Hold on, let me put Alan on the solo screen, please. Alan, please. You were saying?
I go on dates, but but you know, everyone has to know and everyone has to be mindful that it's a pandemic. So you may not see me again for another 2 months after we go on a date. This is just for health. This is for health concerns.
Hey, that's some player shit right there. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Alan with the good game, yo. Look at does that work? Does that work?
Pandemic.
Alan, do you plan to settle down one day?
Of course.
Okay, good. Is it like you're just like not in a rush?
You can't rush love.
Okay. So if you feel something real with somebody, then you would be willing to settle down with them?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Just don't be out here playing these chicks because you know it's not right. You too, TJ. Y'all got to treat women with respect. All right. And y'all
whoa. What's it?
Talking to multiple women. All right. And if you have one lady, you take care of her and you treat her right. Okay. I want to hear it.
One.
Fine. I oblige. I'm with it. I'm ready to split the rent with somebody. Just kidding.
You gotta pay for it. No splitting.
Just kidding.
There's a lot of love. I have a lot of love to give, but you know, I'm looking for intangibles. That's it.
Intangibles. Look at that.
You gotta be self.
That's what you tell a woman that you don't like, but you can't really explain to her why you don't like her. You know, it's just the intangibles.
But look, that's the thing though. I feel like if you tell a woman that from the get, then she knows what the expectations are. She knows what it is. And if she decides to stay with you after you tell her that, then that's on her. But if you try to like lead her on and lie, then that's a problem. That's the big problem.
Let me tell you, TJ said he is intangible.
Wait, did you just say all we have to do is tell women the truth?
Yes. funny?
True. That
Yes.
don't work in these streets. In the game of Jumanji, that does not work.
Then you're dealing with the wrong person, because if somebody cannot handle the truth, then why do you need to be with them? I respect people more if they're honest with me than if they lie. I cannot respect a liar, but I can respect someone who's 100.
Wait a minute. You're authentic self from day one.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Listen to me. I'm 30 years old. I'm 25. I'm 25 years old. And
Are you really?
No.
Whoa, wait a minute. How old are you? I just got confused.
Yeah, I am.
Word, I'm doing this math. Like, hold up.
And look, I'm too old to be playing games. Like, I just feel like that's like kiddie shit. Like, that's like high school.
All right. In all seriously, I know exactly what I'm looking for. So when I see certain red flags, I'm like, oh, I don't mind pulling out.
That's good. Just be honest about it. Don't block
TJ.
people and not tell them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
TJ, when was the last time you blocked the young lady after?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Like you didn't even give her a heads up. Like y'all went out maybe once or twice, and you got to the crib and you was like, boop, block. Because I feel like you're a blocker. Well, I know you're a blocker. I don't really have the heart to do that, and my life is not that exciting.
Oh, I'm a notorious. When I cut ties, that's it. Like I cut ties. If I feel like you're a distraction, what?
Why block? I feel like people do that. I think it's funny. I won't block you.
Why block?
I'm doing. See everything I'm doing.
Let me answer the question.
Go ahead.
The reason I block, right, is because I want to be able to talk on my podcast freely. A lot of the links to on my Instagram and stuff is corrected to the Soapboxx. So when they see a lot of things I do, especially politically, then it's like, oh, they want to keep tabs and people in your business.
So you blocked them from all the socials too.
Wow, you do that. Wow.
Oh wow. And someone just that's cute.
That's right.
Shout out to Soapboxx Nations. We have a confirmation. I don't even. Am I allowed to say her name?
Yes, you say her name. That's fine.
Shout out to Amanda Castro, who tapped in on our live feed and said he's definitely a blocker.
Listen, I am not going to allow. Look, I feel like I'm Tory Lanez on the.
TJ, who was Amanda Castro?
Amanda is a good friend of mine who I believe is married now. So congrats.
Oh, nice.
How many times and how many platforms has Amanda Castro been blocked?
Castro's not blocked. What are you talking about? She's not blocked.
She was blocked. She wouldn't be able to comment. She's not blocked.
No, she's on the YouTube. YouTube is like the Hail Mary response. Like if you couldn't get through the IG or the Facebook.
Oh, she's not married. Oh,
TJ.
TJ, Amanda is not married.
We don't even talk anymore. We are you.
I really don't understand the whole blocking thing, though. I really don't. I mean, I think it's funny though. I've had some social media beef with like with people before, and they blocked me. And I thought it was funny. Like, you go ahead and block me. I'm not gonna block you. Like, I really don't care. You can see what I'm doing. I don't care. But I think it's funny that people really go out there. I feel like unless you are harassing me, I'm not going to block you. But if we just have beef, you're about to see everything because you mad.
Okay, so Amanda says, I feel like I just check in to see how you be doing. It's all love.
Aww. We all need a little love sometime. Thank you, Amanda.
You know what it is? It's probably because it's getting colder. It's getting colder. It's getting colder. No. I would say this: when there's certain people that I really connect with and it doesn't go a certain way or whatever, sometimes it's good to block people so that it's like that out of sight, out of mind. So it's like you don't want to be a distraction to them. They don't want to be a distraction to you. So it's better that, I don't like doing the whole check-in and Facebook, looking at the person's Facebook. I don't even with women I date, like there are women who say, why don't you take pictures or put them on, your Instagram and do all that other stuff? Like, I don't do that. Like, I don't like, even in relationships. One of the hardest things in relationships is when people, like, when you either break up or y'all stop talking and she removes your pictures from her social media. That's a blow. That's a tough day.
What do you want them to keep the pictures on there? Like, y'all are broken up.
Yeah, so I'd rather not. But the thing is, with me, it's very public.
Let me tell you something about a red flag for all of y'all who don't know. If you are dating somebody and you guys have pictures up and all of a sudden they break up with you and they take your pictures down, there's somebody else. Because there's no way
there's always somebody else.
Huh?
There's always somebody else. Ain't that right, Amanda?
Always somebody else. There's not always somebody else. But that's a sign. That's a
Women
sign.
Always have guys in the bullpen. Women always have 3 dudes in their DMs. There's always guys in the bullpen. Y'all know it. Stop lying. Just say.
I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm not even going to comment on that, but I will say.
Look at you. No further questions.
To finish my point, I was dating this guy, and he had pictures of me, and he wasn't a social media person, because all of a sudden, none of these niggas is social media people, but they post. But anyways, so he was like posting on social media, and then one day, like, he broke up with me out of nowhere, and I went straight to his social media, and I saw that he took all my pictures down, and I was like, okay, if there was another bitch, all you have to do is say that. And then guess what? He got back together with me and put all my pictures back up. Like, that's what I thought. But we're not no more.
And here we go. We have Soapboxx Nation Patrick. He says they so in a hurry to take them pictures down. You're right. Women are very ruthless. They use that to their advantage.
It's both.
It's heartless to take someone's pictures down while you're dating them. Y'all just revealing yourselves, taking the mask off and saying, hey, this is who I am. And then, Amanda Castro, she says again, you always had somebody else. Wow. If this isn't the pot calling the kettle black, look,
we are exposing who TJ is over here talking about women. It goes both ways, young sir.
TJ is a great guy, understanding, great lover. Like, I'm humble brag. Like, I'm good. I'm a good guy. I'm difficult. I can be difficult, but Can
I ask a question on this? If you don't post your significant other on social media platforms, do you think it's because they're trying to leave their options open?
Yes.
How about you, Alan?
Yes.
I run a business-oriented Instagram. So the only thing that's on there is raps and an occasional selfie and rap promotion.
Okay, but if you're in a serious relationship,
I will say that Alan don't even put Soapboxx stuff on his page. I will say
business
that.
Related.
Okay, Alan, if you're in a serious relationship, you're not gonna post your girl on any social media platform that she asks you to, but you'll post a selfie.
Business related, because a selfie is self-promotion.
Yo, listen. Now. Alan thinks that he's not a politician. Alan is what they call a dating politician. He has generic in his holster. Just like his raps, he has automated lines for these scenarios, and he does offense for years. He has not changed when it comes to this. He's very particular about his life and what he has and who he lets in, and he has predetermined answers. He's like Ray J. Ray J does the same thing. It's just a complex offense. It gets you confused. He's like, wait, Alan, have you ever kicked someone out of your apartment before? After
I have not kicked someone out of my apartment before.
That was the controversy. Yeah, Alan, are we going to tell that story? Because I'm out here in these streets.
No.
Wow.
Allegedly, was someone unceremoniously told to leave?
So what I will say is this, right? And it's tricky now. So if I were to make that next step with someone, I think they would, we'll probably take a nice little Facebook portrait, possibly. The issue with the Facebook portraits nowadays is that they give you the option to like share everywhere. And so I don't want to be put in the pickles. Like, you're just not going to share that everywhere.
You don't have to share it everywhere. I mean, I get that though too.
So
how does that work? You felt
only.
Just say you fell for that.
I feel like this is like a whole, like, we could talk about this another time because I got a lot to say on this.
Say it. Go ahead. We rapping right now. We're off the rails.
I don't trust guys that feel like they can't post their girl because it's a business page, but yeah, you posting personal stuff there. Like you can't say it's a business page, but you're still posting business things. I feel like if you're in a serious relationship and your girl wants you to post her, what's the big deal? I feel like people are like, social media kills relationships. No, you kill your relationship.
Well, let me ask you this, because it seems like women like to Christopher Columbus men's social media pages and stake their claim to a territory just so that other women would not want to thwart other women off. Like if you're secure,
I mean, not even, listen, let me tell you something. You can have a significant other and people will still try to talk to you. That's not going to change anything. Your man can post you or your girl can post you. You could still be getting cheated on. Period.
Yes,
but
facts, because
that's what it is. But I just feel like
I can stop a guy from sliding in.
If you have any loyalty to your girl or you have any loyalty to your man and they want that, why not do that? What is so hard about posting? Because you don't post on social media? If you don't post on social media, delete your social media. Why do you have social media for? If you're posting pictures of yourself, you're posting whatever on there, you post on social media. You're just choosing what to post.
Guys, I want you to listen to this anger that is coming from Just Say.
There ain't no anger at all.
This is when she said that, that's called a dictatorship, where she tells you either you post me on your social media, or why don't you just go ahead and delete it? This is one of those arguments.
No, not at all. I was just simply stating that. I'm not telling you to do. You are grown. I'm grown. Okay, if you don't want to do that, then don't do that. But don't think that when you ask me for something, that it's going to be reciprocated. Because if you're not doing something so small to make me happy, then best believe it's going to go both ways. And that's what it is.
Listen, anything I require, I can reciprocate. Reciprocity is very big. Anything I require, I can reciprocate. So I will say this: do you give your all right? Let's talk about this. Do you give your significant other would you give them access to your DMs if you're in a relationship?
I have. I've done that in the past. I was in a relationship where I gave them access.
Are you currently doing that now?
Because I don't have anything to hide. What?
Are you
Listen, the only reason why I'm not doing that is because I don't have the same access. So I'm not going to give you something that I don't have access to. Now, if I have access to it and you want access to it, sure. I don't have nothing to hide. So I don't care. I don't care for that. Now, if I had something to hide, then I just wouldn't be in a relationship. Or I wouldn't, yeah.
Alan, would you ever give a woman that you're in a relationship with access to your social media accounts, your business accounts?
I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why she would need it.
Because she don't trust you.
Then we're not in a relationship then.
We're not in a relationship, you're right. Why should we be in a relationship?
You guys are so funny. Y'all just so funny. Like, y'all funny.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I feel I'm really big on habits, right? So I feel like just on an overall basis, boundaries have to be set, because once you crack that door open, where does it stop?
It will stop eventually. Let me tell you something.
It doesn't. Let me get the password to your bank account.
No,
then we have a problem.
That's psycho. Okay. First of all, if y'all not married, definitely not. Pause right there. Okay. But I will say this: I was in a relationship with somebody. I had access to every single thing. And in the beginning, it was simply because I had trust issues. Now I get it. Yeah, you're not supposed to get into a relationship until you resolve those things, but whatever. I still got into the relationship. I had my trust issues, but I had access to everything. Eventually, I just stopped checking it because there was no need, because he was able to build that trust. And it was like, okay, you want it, here it is. And he knew he wasn't doing anything. So he didn't have any issues to show it to me. So I just feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody, you know that they have trust issues, but you still decide to get into a relationship with them. If that's something that they require, if you know you're not doing anything wrong, then that shouldn't be an issue. Unless you feel like, I don't know, your privacy is being invaded for whatever reason. But I feel like that's just an excuse. And Patrick, shut up. Ain't nobody in defense.
Whoa! Is that how we speak with our Soapbox Nation? Is that how
Me and Patrick are cool. That's cool people.
Patrick says, "Why? Why did
Cool
you say
people.
that in defense mode?" I don't know, Patrick. She seems like she's very defensive. Hold on.
Definitely.
It says again, and I'm just putting these out. She says, "Why is it when women express themselves, they get labeled as defensive? Women get labeled as defensive."
Right, Amanda. Right, exactly. We can express ourselves without being defensive. Like, what?
Amanda on this with her, where she's just stirring the pot and being.
No, she's speaking facts. She is.
And so it's Patrick. Soapbox Nation is out here live and well. Appreciate y'all. Follow us on Instagram at Soapbox Podcast with 2X. I'm sure Patrick and both Amanda are not blocked, so they can follow us on those social media platforms. This is very interesting. I didn't know that y'all were going to get so riled up. Once again, Alan was very elusive with his answers and really told us everything, but by telling us nothing. So when it comes to
sounds like my sense.
Life is that simple.
Yo, he is a Jedi when it comes to the jujitsu of dating logic.
Life is very simple.
Oh my goodness. All right, next time. Oh, speaking of Alan, the XY, the person who I haven't heard from. The streets are watching, Alan.
Right.
I just yes.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
We had a conversation offline about someone who I haven't heard from. I just
heard from them.
Just heard from them. I just is
raise the
crazy.
roof, raise the roof. Hallelujah.
Right, Patrick, do one more. Patrick says, "Nah, just like okay, we all understand y'all have saying something about it, but still, when you explain something for so long, is it really necessary?" Well, she's trying to articulate herself and her point. Go ahead, Justin.
It's very necessary because sometimes you can say something and y'all still don't get it through y'all head. So we have to keep reiterating what we're saying until we feel like you guys fully grasp the concept of what we are trying to express. And sometimes we feel passionate about it and we want to talk about the way we want to talk about it. And that is what it is. When we're done talking about it, it will be done. Go ahead.
It's funny because I'm big on communication, and I actually agree with you because I'm big on communication. So when you express to someone your feelings, and you may not necessarily feel that way at the time, you got to give someone an opportunity or chance for them to grow into their own feelings, and not just because they don't feel the way you feel at that time, you throw the baby out with the bathwater. So that when they, in turn, they get those feelings that you had in the beginning, then you want to actually engage in some sort of relationship or whatever. But if you're not willing to wait to let that person grow into their feelings, then you really probably didn't want that person to begin with. I'm not talking about anybody specifically. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if it's something that you really want, then oh, look, I would just need somebody to just text me, okay? What is Amanda Castro says, suddenly big on communication. This slander needs to stop. This slander needs to stop. I need everybody, if you have, my DMs are open and people can easily, I'm very much accessible. Anyway, because I'm at work right now. Anyway, let's
How are you accessible at work? Flex bomb.
I'm accessible right now. I mean, clearly I'm getting text messages from people currently on the Honda show on Thursdays because this topic apparently is really rev some people up.
Hey,
I feel like
I understand completely.
What is that movie? John Tucker Must Die? Like, geez. A lot of blasts from the past coming to take their shots.
Hey.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. In other news, where were we going? Yes, we talked about Mike Pence. Yes, okay. So Kamala. So the big news this week was actually yesterday. Kamala Harris and Mike Pence had a debate, and nobody cared. The American people once again showed how petty we are because nobody cared. Because at this point, if you don't know who you're really, you may not like who you're voting for, but everybody kind of knows what you should do at the polls. I'm gonna just say that, right? But nobody was talking about the debate between Kamala Harris and Senator Kamala Harris and Vice President Mike Pence. They were talking about the fly that landed on the head of Mike Pence. But what's funny about it is that the timing was impeccable because Mike Pence was talking about race relations and talking about how Kamala Harris and Vice President Joe Biden said that police officers or law enforcement have implicit bias against people who are black. And immediately that fly was like, zzz. And so basically what I think is, flies are attracted to shit. And if you're full of shit, you'll probably be surrounded by flies. And so it was, once again, the drums from the ancestors, made sure that was a symbol that it kind of went viral. So everybody has all sorts of fly memes on Mike Pence. And he basically was, the target of some, not even slander, but memes and some trolling. So yeah, so that was that. So what do you think? I don't know if you guys actually caught all of the debate. I don't think anybody watched a vice presidential debate and used that as a way to change the barometer or whatever. But let me just ask you all a general thing. Are you excited, right? Even the Soapboxx Nation, are you excited about voting this upcoming election or voting in this next upcoming election? I'll go around the horn. Start with you, Jesse.
I would just like to address the fly and
yes, please.
And when I was watching it, I was like, I thought I was bugging out. I really did. I kept I thought I was bugging. I was like, what the hell is that? And I was like waiting for somebody to say something, but obviously they weren't going to say nothing. But yeah, shout out to the fly. We were talking about doing the Soapboxx salute. The fly. Okay.
We can do that. Okay, Soapboxx salute.
Yeah. You definitely gonna close out the show with that Soapboxx salute. We're gonna expand on that one.
All right. Yeah. So, Alan, are you excited about voting in this upcoming election?
You didn't let me. I didn't.
I'm sorry, Jesse. Forgive me.
It's okay. I don't like politics, so you did a good thing. But I wouldn't say that I'm excited. I kind of just want to. I just want to vote, and I kind of just want to know. That's it. I just want to know who's going to be the next president. I'm not really excited for either or candidates, but I just know that Trump got to go. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Alan, thoughts?
I don't think excited is a good word. I actually just got my mail-in ballot. I'm so unenthused. I'm just gonna put it in the mailbox and get it over with. I'm not gonna wait until election day to deal with all that wildness. So I think excitement is probably not the adjective that I was used, but I'm definitely anxious. I'm definitely ready to get it over with. I feel like everyone says, election years are just long and winded. And this is actually probably the first time I even heard people talking about a vice presidential debate in any sort of capacity. But no, I can't necessarily say I'm excited, but I'm definitely going to go do it. Well, actually, what I am excited about is legalizing marijuana is on the ballot here in Jersey. So, so I'm excited about that. I'm hoping the old farts don't fuck it up for the rest of us. So we can get some progress in the state of New Jersey. So that's something that also a lot of people need to figure out is what else is on the ballot, what's on the back of your ballot, how you're going to vote for that, research that, because it could be some shit that you really need. If the amount of people who smoke weed and advocate for weed legalization went out and voted for it when it was on the ballot, a lot of states, including my former state, Florida, would be a lot well off. So, figure out what else is on the ballot. You're not mandated to vote for a president if you're not excited about that, though you should. But maybe there's something on the ballot that could really influence your life in a positive manner. So figure that out too before you completely swear off voting. Figure it all out.
No, I definitely agree. My stance is this, right? If we look at there's really two sides. It's either you're for white supremacy or you're for dismantling white supremacy, right? That's how I look at this election. And if we look at it as a chessboard, having Donald Trump in office or removing him from office will be a major blow to the chess game of white supremacists out there. These emboldened Karens, these militias, these Proud Boys and stuff. So it's not like as if we get rid of Trump that white supremacy goes away. And that's what my hesitation is with putting, with supporting any sort of Democratic candidate who they really haven't done enough, if anything, for African Americans at this point. Like, let's be honest. If we're talking about our people, we have not gotten the bang for our buck that other interest groups have gotten, and that needs to change. But in all actuality, Trump needs to go. There's no way that you could actually vote for Trump. He hasn't done anything. I will say this: Nancy Pelosi, Trump tweeted that he's ready to sign a standalone bill for $1,200 stimulus. Right now, he just wants that. Nancy Pelosi needs to go ahead and y'all just go ahead and let Trump and sign that over. If Trump wants to give us a $1,200 check before he leaves, by all means, let him do it. Just go ahead. That I really don't think it's going to sway people's votes, even though it's close to the election. It's not going to sway people's votes enough to vote for him. People at this point know who they're voting for, or whether they're voting or not. There's no convincing. It's just basically the battle. It's the lesser of two evils at this point. And no one's really enthusiastic, but there's a lot more things that are on the ballot that we need to focus on. With the Supreme Court, justice seat vacancy, filling up these courts. These are things that healthcare, student loans, all these different things that Trump is not going to do any of those things. At least if Biden's in there, there can be an audience or whatever with him. But I'm not necessarily enthused or team Biden or any of these other folks at this point, because let's face it, I invited these folks on the show, and as y'all know, I was told, oh, they're not going to do any more independent media outlets. But Little Baby got an interview. So I don't like the Democratic strategy where they're just going to cater to rappers and artists and just say, hey, these are the people who are the leaders of the Black community, and this is who we want to talk to. And so I'm adamantly against that. But like you said, Trump's got to go. Pence's got to go. That whole with the coronavirus, people died, right? People literally died because of the negligence of this administration. So, but I will say this: I don't believe in shaming anybody who doesn't want to go vote. When our ancestors, when those people fought for the right to vote, they fought for the right to vote, not for the obligation to vote for a Democrat candidate. Like, that's not why John Lewis got his head smashed in the Edmund Pettus Bridge. That's not why Martin Luther King marched. They for the right. That means you have the right. That means they didn't have the option. They fought for the option to vote. You see what I'm saying? Not for, oh, you have to vote regardless of anything. So I think that gets misconstrued. We shouldn't shame anybody, because it's the candidate's responsibility to go and convince the voters to vote for them, not the other way around. No one should be beholden, and we shouldn't give anybody a blank check. I don't care if Kamala Harris went to an HBCU or if Joe Biden is pandering to African American or talking about white supremacy and stuff like. I don't care about that. It's about tangibles, and you vote based upon your interests. I will say this: heading into the election, I gotta say, if this election comes down, I don't trust white women at the polls, because historically they have always done the wrong thing when it comes to teaming up. And the fact is, there are going to be still in this election, there are going to be more white people that vote for Trump than that vote for Biden. And getting rid of and letting go of, we talk about dismantling white supremacy, letting go of your privilege, letting go of that, of upholding white supremacy is something that is just a scared foreign concept to some. And so Trump is Kate. So we really have to worry about white women. We really have to worry about Latino voters. We don't know what they're going to do specifically in Florida, if they're going to come out in droves for Trump, and whether or not Joe Biden and the Biden campaign has done enough with Black men to get Black men to come out and vote. So we shall see. But I do think that your vote is your voice, and you can't. I'm one of the people that don't think that you can actually make an impact if you're just sitting on the sideline. So I'll leave it at that. So as far as the voting, aspect. But other than that, yo, what else we got? We have any other news?
It's been a slow but a very long week.
Yes, we have.
We,
Oh, real quick, Ali, go
uh,
ahead and talk to us about Jonathan Price.
oh man, Jonathan Price. So Jonathan Price is a brother who lived in Texas. He was recently shot and killed by an officer within the last week. Initially, he was tased, and when the officer felt like the tase did not do his job and he assumed that this brother was coming to harm him, he shot him 4 times in the torso. And, unfortunately, he passed. His brother's name was Jonathan Price. A lot of tension was gained from it. There was a baseball player from the Red Sox who tweeted about it, said that this was his childhood friend, his best teammate. Essentially, he was kind of like he was known by everybody in the city that he grew up in Texas, and it was a predominantly white city. So a lot of white people are calling it for what it is. I must give them their credit. That is essentially is a race-induced shooting. Now, what happened was this brother was actually breaking up a fight. It was actually a domestic dispute. And he stepped in to intervene. The cop came, and from there things escalated. He was not armed. He wasn't doing anything but trying to be a good citizen in the community that he grew up in, that he loved. And rest in peace to Mr. Price. Now, within the last week or so, there's been some social media commentary in regards to some of his old Facebook posts, right? Particularly on his stance on race. He was saying that, listen, his family, when his family abandoned him, cops were there for him in the town, and when his family wasn't there for him, it was his white counterparts that looked out for him. And so he said he was one of those people that said that he didn't necessarily see race, and so he, just with all the unrest going on, that was kind of his 2 cents, and people unearthed those things. And it's like how ironic for his story to end like that, after he was going to bat for these same people who for these same people who he thought that was he really bought into, to the protect and serve, because for him growing up they were there for him. So it's just kind of like, it's like no matter what you do, still nigga at the end of the day. So rest in peace to our brother Jonathan Price.
Yeah. So shout out to Queen Fleece. Shout out to Queen Chloe Fleece. She says, yeah, size, such a tragedy. Yeah, it is. And that just shows you the world that we live in, and our Black experience, that is really Russian roulette with our lives. Every time we walk out of our homes, or now since Breonna Taylor, when we're in our homes, we know that we are we live in a white supremacy is global, and we can be harmed by race soldiers disguised as police officers, and we could be harmed and shot. And officers continue. When we talked about voting, officers continue to kill Black Americans in this country with impunity, qualified immunity and all these different things. So, we got to be, when we talk about this fight about dismantling white supremacy and talking about violence towards, Black men and Black women, you think, oh, well, what's all this marching? What's all this stuff? You guys are making so much of force and all lives matter. Yeah, but you got to understand, like, you watching a hashtag on the camera with somebody, you don't know when that injustice is going to show up to your doorstep, right? So that's what Martin Luther King says: injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So, it's sad that happened, but we got to be vigilant in our fight to have some sort of accountability, because right now, we're literally just sitting ducks. That's why I implore everyone, including myself, to make sure that you get your concealed weapons permit, make sure that you are exercising the Second Amendment right so that you can protect yourself and protect your family at all times. Because I rather people protect themselves and have to go through the judicial process to figure out whether they're guilty or not guilty than for them to just be sitting ducks and just dying in the streets by the hands of law enforcement. So no one has a right, whether you have a badge or not, no one has a right to just take your life. Like no one has that right. So hopefully there will be accountability, there will be justice. So and we need more punitive legislation in our country. These officers are going to continue to harm Black people because they're not being punished, and that's the game what these politicians are playing. When we talk about tangibles, put forth legislation to protect Black Americans. I said that to the Biden campaign. They said, well, what can we do to increase Black male support? And I specifically said, say that you're going to introduce punitive legislation to protect Black men and Black women in the first 100 days. And I never got a response. And this is the problem with the current campaign. When you give them ideas and you tell them you need to put legislation to protect Black men, it's not about having a database where these race soldiers can be put on a database to say, oh, this officer has a history of excessive force. This officer has done this, X, Y, Z. All that's going to do is going to allow them to be glorified by these other suspected white supremacists and Proud Boys and all these other groups, and get them to have GoFundMe pages and raise money for them, just in case they can't go get work. They are killing Black Americans and Black men and Black women because these white supremacists have gangs that have infiltrated law enforcement, and so some of these killings are initiation rituals. So we need to understand that. We need to call for legislation to punish these people so that it doesn't happen to your son, your daughter, or your mother, your sister, your brother. And we need to stop judging people and looking at, oh, that happened in Ferguson, or that happened in Baltimore, that happened in XYZ, because you don't know when it's going to come to your doorstep. So be vigilant in your approach with that. All right?
Facts.
Yo, moral of the story. Let's hit it. I'm going to let Jess say. Jess say is firing off on all cylinders. Before we do moral of the story today, I definitely want to thank Soapboxx Nation, who Amanda, Patrick, Queen Fleece. We definitely should. We have a question for Soapboxx Nation. Queen Fleece says, should we really be prepared for a race war if Trump loses the election? We need to be prepared for the race war that we're currently in right now. Like, if you look around, when you have Black Americans that are dying in the street by the hands of law enforcement, you have the kid in Kenosha who's shooting people. Like, you're getting Breonna Taylor's getting shot in her home. Like, this is war. This is war times now. You're in a war. And just because it doesn't look like the traditional war, like the Civil War or things that are overseas, this is what it is. So, do I think that there's going to be some sort of backlash if Trump is actually, if he loses the election? Yeah, Black America. That's why I said make sure you exercise your Second Amendment, because we're definitely going to be those targets, because there's going to be backlash and these mass shooters and people who are upset and stuff. So they're going to have some blowback, but as long as you stay ready, you won't have to get ready. So that's definitely a good question. But I want to definitely thank Soapboxx Nation for you guys' interaction this week, because it makes for a much better show. And please don't let Just Say scare y'all off. I'm sure she's just very sweet and harmless. But no, all jokes aside, we love you guys. Interaction makes it for a lot better show. We want more of it. Yes. So, moral of the story. Just Say, hit it. Start us off.
All right, I'll start off by saying, get your booties to the poll and vote. You already know who that one for you. And let's talk about relationships real quick. Relationships are centered on trust. If you don't have trust, you don't have anything. But that also comes with communication. That also comes with respect. That also comes with loyalty. With that being said, if your girl wants you to post her on social media, just do it. If your man wants that, just do it. If you're not out here entertaining anybody else, it shouldn't be an issue. And I said it, and that's how I feel about it.
Word.
That's my
Word. Alan, moral of the story.
Moral of the story is what they say, just because you're over it don't mean it's over. And that means we are still in a pandemic. So wash your hands and wear your mask and wear a bee suit if you gotta go on an airplane.
Hazmat.
Yeah.
Hazmat. All right, listen. My moral of the story is this. I'm a great guy, okay? And all this slander that I received today on the show, it was unwarranted. Shout out to the representation that Rihanna's given to the big brothers. But no, all seriousness, what is my moral of the story? The moral of the story is this. If you're dating, it's better to be upfront, right? And sometimes if you can make your intentions clear and precise and let people know exactly what you want and you know what you're looking for, it just makes it a lot easier. And don't linger if you're not trying to. You got to count the cost. So there are people that may want things that you don't want right then and there. And sometimes it is bad timing, but if it's meant to be, it will definitely be. And if there's a connection there, it's undeniable. No matter who you're dating or who you've been dating, whatever. If eventually people will return, if need be. All right. So appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all follow us, Soapboxx Podcast with 2X. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Those who are not blocked, follow us. please follow us. And also, I appreciate y'all supporting us. Is it next week? Next week's going to be a little different. So we're going to change some things up in the next few episodes, whatever. You're going to be configuring, doing some different things. But I appreciate y'all for being there. And when I come back, I will be older because my birthday will be on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll be a little older, wiser, maybe get a couple of little grades up here. I can't wait till I get a little salt and pepper in the beard because that'll make me, dashing, right? So, but yeah, man, I'm happy that'll be another morning. So I'm happy for life. I'm happy for health. And I'm going to continue to chase my joy and chase my happiness. And it doesn't matter who's trying to block me or come against me. Like, this train is going to keep moving. Just can't stop. So
That's right.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. Anybody else got anything else?
No, we all set. Shout out to that fly.
Yes. All right. So for Jesse, for Giovanni, who in her absence, for Alan York, this is TJ Legacy on We Are the Soapboxx Podcast. Peace.